Hi, it's the Carter Man, and I want to ask you a question today. It's March 22nd. It's Wednesday. I want to ask you a question. Do you ever get tired of being lied to? Lied to. I got to be honest with you. To me, lying is the unforgivable sin. I'm sorry, it is. Once a person lies to you, can you really trust anything else they do? Because you know that they lie. They lie. Their actions may seem to be something that you might like, but at heart they're deceptive. Okay? So you can never trust them. So what brings this up? Well, two articles I saw today. One by Jim Rickards. Folks, follow Jim Rickards whenever you can. Daily Reckoning. He's just outstanding. Former top government CIA type consultant, official consultant to the White House. But he's a guy who has rejected the lying that our government now has adopted as policy, and not just since Biden became president. Look, with the exception of the 4 years with Donald Trump, we've had unbroken lying by government since Reagan left office. It's just the way it is. And I'll get into more of that in just a second. But the Jim Rickards article was about the U.S. spy drone, that invaded Russian territory. And then, as Jim points out, the government, Defense Department, said, oh, no, we were in the middle of the Black Sea. Well, Jim said, here's some pictures from their own drone. And as Jim pointed out, folks, you don't have to be a cartographer. You don't have to be a map drawer to know that ain't the middle of the Black Sea. Okay? That's right on the shoreline of Crimea, Russian Crimea. So they lied. They lied once again. The other article is the article that just came out about the Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government, House Judiciary Committee, where they said in no uncertain terms, Garland lied about teaming up with the National School Board Association to declare those who protested against pornography in school libraries, and the government, Mary Kimmler, declared them domestic terrorists and wanted to prosecute them under the Patriot Act, which means you get no trial, right to a speedy trial, gone, and you can be put away indefinitely. You're a domestic terrorist because you said, I don't want the schools showing filthy, disgusting pornography to my children. So Garland lied. Merrick Garland lied. But of course, he is, I'm not going to say he's a father of lies, that's Satan, but he certainly is one of the children, isn't he? He's the same one who has said repeatedly, 5 policemen were killed in the protest at the Capitol on January 6th. 5. None were killed. 2 people were killed. They were killed by the Capitol Police. One shot to death, the other beaten to death. 2 women. He's lied repeatedly about that. I think maybe even to Congress. An inveterate liar. We are living under the evil empire of lies now. The evil empire of lies. They lie about everything that comes out of their mouth. Okay? And it, as I said, it goes back George Bush's weapons of mass destruction. He knew it was a lie. Okay? We know that Scott Ritter told him point blank, they're not there. And I said, okay, well then we'll lie about it so he can go to war. Be very careful of presidents who want to be wartime presidents. It's a problem we have with dementia Joe Biden right now. With his toxic dementia, he wants to be a wartime president. So he will do anything to lengthen and deepen the war that he has declared in Ukraine, okay? that he has declared in Ukraine, a war that never had to happen and could be settled within a matter of days. China's trying, but of course our president has declared we won't accept any kind of peace agreement. Makes arriving at peace kind of tough, doesn't it? But we've seen this for decades now, other than that brief time when Trump was president, when he really did just try to tell the truth and, of course, got crucified for it. They lied about Trump's collusion with Russia. Okay? It was a lie. It was a lie, a blatant lie, with the water carried by the mainstream media lapdogs and lickspittles. So this is what we're dealing with, this empire of lies. And let me finish up by saying why I take it so seriously. I want you to go back, if you're any kind of believer in anything, go back to Genesis. What was the first sin? The first sin, when the devil slithered as a serpent into the Garden of Eden, what did he do? He lied. The whole downfall of mankind, in other words. Eve said, well, we're not supposed to eat from the tree of good and evil. So he said, Genesis verse 4 here, Genesis 3, verse 4, you will certainly not die. For God knows when you eat the fruit, your eyes will be open, you'll be like God. It was a lie. It was a lie. That's how serious lies are. They can call this a downfall of mankind. And then if you're, let's say, Christian and prefer the New Testament, in Paul, when he writes in Ephesians about when you are purified, sanctified, holy, what's the first thing he said you stop doing? Lying. Lying. You stop bearing falsehoods to your brothers. Well, we have a government that deals in nothing but falsehoods now. If government says it, it's a lie. Oh, we need to spend trillions of dollars on welfare to lift people out of poverty. How's that work for us? Okay? That's not the way you get people out of poverty. You help people work. That's how you get people. But that doesn't buy votes, does it? So the politicians, who I've told you before, don't forget, the problem, our political system needs to be totally dismantled and be rebuilt without the incentives that drive every politician in Washington now to one degree or another: prestige, power, and payola. Okay? That's what we're fighting, and we're fighting a evil empire of lies. All right? So band together. We got to band together and just accept the fact this is what our calling is at this point. Understanding we are dealing with an evil empire of lies, and the only way to stop it, clearly the only way to stop it, is to dismantle the current system, start over with severe restrictions on what politicians can and can't do in Washington, in your state capital, in your city halls, and how long they can stay around, because the longer they stay around, the more inveterate they become as liars. So let's do this thing.